We are now on level 3 of spring 2011. You have to read the directions carefully because it says go up and come back down. It's kind of like one octave. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Stop on G. That's the 7th letter. It says don't repeat the 7th letter. From G you go back down the piano again. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And then you arrive back to the A. So that's how it's done correctly. Always read your directions carefully. Now you're going to make whole notes on the correct line or space. You're in the treble clef. Should not be difficult. Spaces, F-A-C-E, always say that to yourself. So you could have it on the first space, F, or the last line, F. And continue that. And be sure to make your whole notes touching the top line and the bottom line, or in the space, or if they're on the line has to go right through the middle. Okay. Over here we're in the bass clef, so be careful. Again, repeat your lines, G, B, F, A. G, B, D, so that's a D, all capital letters. Okay. Over in game 4, or number 4, we're back to these what we call intervals, the space between two notes. We studied the second, where it went from one note, say here, and then to the next note here, that's a second, 1, 2. We studied 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You always count the first note as 1, and the last note, whatever number it is, and count the lines and spaces in between. 1, space is 2, line is 3, so that's a third. Now there is a 4th and a 5th now in this line of work, and I'll quickly show you how they have it here on E, and they go to B. So count 1 on E, 2 on F, 3 on G, 4 on A, 5 on B. So that would be a 5th, and that's your biggest one that they're asking. And I might mention that these notes from one to the other, called intervals, are played one at a time. So this is C, this is B. So you call that, it's a melody. I didn't play a harmony, I didn't play together, I played one at a time. So C to B, and we call that a melodic interval. I'm just mentioning that, they haven't told you that yet. When we get to it, you'll be familiar. Over here, you're going to make a dotted half note. You have to remember the stems. So you're going to put one low and one high. Show me how you make. You'd be surprised how many children keep coming with the stem on this side. It looks like a Q and it doesn't look like the real thing. Here you make a half rest. Half rest is only on the 3rd line, boys and girls. It's never anyplace else, so you don't make one low and one high. You make a little box halfway through the space. Don't cover the whole space. Look again at some of your music and notice that. And from now on, notice things like that. A quarter rest now is quite tricky. If you remember how they look in the book, they look more complicated, okay? So when you print it, when you have to write one, musicians don't make them as fancy as they are, as the printer does it in printed music. So it's more like a backward Z. So I made a couple of them over here. First you swoop down, it's like a little curve that goes under, then you swoop a little bit over, and then you sweep over. It's like a backward Z. Instead of making like this, you're going to make it like this, okay? And so it's, but it has a little curve to it. So when musicians are writing down music, they go really quick, and that's all they do for quarter rest. So you can practice 3 or 4 of them here, and I'll help you do that at your lesson.